What's up, survivors? In today's video, we're going to take a look at my top 10 tips and tricks for 7 Days to Die 2.0. First up on the list is the Plague Spitter. Plague Spitters are not only tough, but also hard to kill, and killing 10 of them is one of the challenges you need to complete to unlock your Byron badge in the desert. I found if you drive straight into them on your mini bike or motorcycle, it stuns them long enough for you to jump off your bike and get an easy kill. It also cancels their summoning animation, making this a safe and effective way to take them out in the early game. Also, I wouldn't recommend attempting this on a bicycle. With the new biome progression system, the smoothies you need to craft require an ingredient that usually grows in the respective biome. Burn Forest has wild mushrooms, the desert has aloe, the snow has blueberries, and the wasteland has radiated mushrooms. And the first perk of living off the land allows you to harvest double from wild and planted crops. So if you're having trouble getting those ingredients for your smoothies, then this might be helpful. The Storms Brewing update has introduced a new mechanic into the game, and that is the storms. This can occur in all of the biomes apart from the pine forest. You will get a 60-second warning before the storm hits, but that might not be enough time for you to get to safety. But this is where the storm shelter comes into play. With at least 10 frames, you can build a small box to hide inside of, keeping you safe from the storm. You can also use this as an opportunity to start mining to help pass the time. But if you're impatient like I am, or want to get back to your base or a safer location, then you can use a first aid kit and tank the damage from the storm, allowing you to drive to safety. But do be careful, your vehicles become a lot harder to control in a storm, and zombies will move at blood moon speed while inside of the storm. It seems that armor books may have been nerfed in 2.0. My best advice is to spec into any armor perk early on so you can increase your odds at finding them in loot. And make sure you're checking the traders every time they reset their inventory for armored up magazines. The last thing you want is to be 10 days plus into your playthrough, still only able to make primitive armor. Don't say I didn't warn you. At this point, it's no secret, but I had to put it in the video just in case. Pack Mule is now one of the best perks in the game for only 9 skill points, which you can reduce with a cigar and a strength mod. You can unlock your whole inventory, never needing a pocket mod ever again, and it also grants you the ability to have a 25% chance to ignore all damage, which is insane. A must-have for any build in the game. You will know when it activates because this icon will pop up in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You hear this noise, which almost sounds like someone hitting a pot with a wooden spoon. I'm sure that won't get old. As of 2.0, the feral, radiated, charged, and infernal variants of the burnt zombie all have a chance of setting the player on fire when they attack you. Now, I feel like this used to be in the game but got taken out at some point, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But one thing I am 100% certain about is the fact that you can drink any type of water in the game to put the fire out. This even works with murky water, so if you have a helmet purifier mod, then you can carry a stack of murky water with you and use that as a way to put out the flames. The stun baton has always been one of my favourite weapons in the game. I mean, who doesn't like eating zombies off of the top of buildings? Blessing and a curse all in the same, because unfortunately that is one of the downsides at times. But now with the new Intellect Mastery perk, the final rank allows your stun baton to be fully charged at all times, meaning crowd control has never been easier. If you take off the repulsor mod and pop a Nerd Tats candy, then every hit with your baton will stun large groups of zombies, and if you pair this with the last rank in position, then you will get that 10% chance for an instant kill, making this not only a fun build, but one of the best in the game in my opinion. The charged zombies are resistant to stuns, but not immune, so make sure to focus on killing them first. I thought I would throw this one in here since the scaffolding ladder is one of the most common blocks used in horde fighting positions. With the new crawling mechanic added in 2.0, zombies are now able to crawl through the scaffolding ladder if it's in the vertical orientation. But if you place your ladders horizontal, then you won't have any issues. Also, the classic, everybody's favourite, the hatch frame, has also been nerfed since zombies can crawl through the one block opening. I haven't been able to find a block to stop this yet, but the double poles and vertical orientation helps to slow them down, but won't help to keep them out. But the plus side is your character is still able to fit through them, just in case you like to use this method as a way in and out of your base. But a couple of well-placed electric fences will stop anything from jumping through. Speaking of which, here is a few options that you can use in your horde bases that still work, or at least are a lot more effective at keeping zombies out of your base. A horizontal scaffolding ladder, double poles. This seems to be one of the best in my opinion for getting melee kills, since you can use every melee weapon in this fighting position. But there is still a small chance that zombies can squeeze through the opening, but that's why we talked about using electric fences, and when paired with the sledgehammer, the full book set, neuro goggles, a treasure hunter mod, and a grandpa's learning elixir, it makes this not only a good fighting position, but also a great XP farm. The T-pole. This one is great for the fact that zombies are unable to crawl through the poles, but because of this, it also obstructs a lot of your vision when going for headshots with the center pole. You are able to melee through the gaps of the pole, and you can also use throwables, which makes this a viable fighting position. I would say this position would be best suited for spears in the Stumpaton. The plate counter hole with a horizontal scaffolding ladder. This one, just like the double poles, zombies still have a chance to crawl through the opening. Now I found by using the wedge 60, with the wedge 60 tip above your fighting position, it actually slows them down from crawling through, because it makes it harder for the zombies to stack up on top of each other. And as I've mentioned, you can hook up a couple of electric fences to help slow them down too. This position is great for getting melee kills, but like I said, be careful because they can still get through, so I guess that makes this one more of an honourable mention. But I do have one more fighting position to share with you guys. This is one that I've been playing around with and testing, and that is the Catwalk V2 wedge play only with a wedge 60. Now this fighting position is 2 blocks wide, but zombies are unable to crawl through the opening. This one gives you a lot of room to melee in, from the top block all the way down to the bottom block. You also have a clear view towards the ramp, making this an excellent spot to throw pipe bombs from. Last up on the list, we have the mastery classes, specifically the intellect one. At rank 2, there is a perk called Bookworm that gives you a 25% chance to find a book, magazine, or a schematic and loot. And then at rank 3, photographic memory gives you a 50% chance to get an extra skill point when reading a magazine. If you pair this with the nerd outfit, at tier 1, you will get a 5% chance to get an extra skill point, and this goes up by 5% for each tier of armor, up to tier 5. And then at tier 6, it goes up to a 50% chance, and when you pair this with photographic memory, you now have a 100% chance to get an extra skill point when reading magazines, making this the fastest way in the game to progress. But on top of that, with Bookworm, you will be finding a lot more magazines, especially if you loot everything, because trash is one of the places where this perk really shines. You will hear this sound when the perk activates, and this icon will pop up on your screen. I've said it once, I'll say it again. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And that, my friends, is 10 tips and tricks for 7 Days to Die 2.0. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, then leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more 7 Days to Die content. And if you have any tips of your own, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Cheers, Survivor.